So, we've all been hearing about the Switch 2 Welcome Tour, a game that many initially thought was just a tutorial that was included with the console, right? But after playing it, I can confidently say that it's not just some glorified guide to the system. There's a lot more packed into this experience than people realize, and I think it's absolutely going to be worth the small fee that Nintendo's charging, which as of right now, I'm hearing it's going to be $10. But don't just take my word for it. Let's take a deep dive into what this game really offers and why you might want to pick it up. And I will say that even though I've demoed the game, I still don't know a ton about it because there's a lot more in there, and that much I did confirm. So I'll share my first impressions of the Switch 2 Welcome Tour, walk you through some of the gameplay and design, and what makes it stand out from the usual system demos. And yes, I will explain why it's not just a tutorial, but rather a really cool and engaging experience that shows off everything the Switch 2 has to offer. And I think if you're just a big fan overall of Nintendo, this is something you're going to want to check out. Now, let's start with the basics. The Switch 2 Welcome Tour is essentially an interactive exhibit that takes you through all of the new features and technologies of the Nintendo Switch 2. From the first glance, it might seem like just a quirky introduction to the system, but trust me, there's a lot more to it. It's a fully immersive experience where you can walk through different exhibits that look like a giant Nintendo Switch 2 itself. The game is designed to let you discover all the hidden tech details behind the system, whether it's the magnetic connectors that hold the Joy-Con 2 controllers firmly in place, the HD Rumble 2, or the more advanced features you might not notice until you're really paying attention. There are tons of mini-games, quizzes, and playful tech demos scattered throughout the experience, and they're all geared towards showing off the system in a fun way, which I love. And there are over 80 medals to collect in the game. So yes, that's right, there are medals in the game. And the medals give it a sense of replayability that I wasn't expecting. But again, that's one thing I love about trophies. But the real question, is it worth the price? At first, I know a lot of people thought that this was just going to be a glorified demo, but when I found out Nintendo was charging for it, I didn't think that they lost their mind. I was just more or less like, okay, that means there's something to it. And I was glad actually they were charging for it because that means we're probably going to get some cool content. And I'm here to confirm that we are getting some cool content. This is a genuinely fun and well thought out experience. And if you're a Nintendo fan, you're going to find tons of Easter eggs tucked away in the game, which makes it even more worthwhile. And the Nintendo rep told me that there's Easter eggs packed in the game that will take forever to find, and that it's really cool, especially for big Nintendo fans, right? Longtime fans since the 80s, 90s. There's Easter eggs everywhere for us. So when you jump into the Switch 2 Welcome Tour, the first thing you'll notice is how interactive it is. It's not just about watching or reading about the features. You're actively exploring the system in a hands-on way. The mini games are designed to introduce you to the Switch 2's new features, from the motion controls to the mouse mode to the HD Rumble. Each mini game showcases a different feature, and it's a blast to play through. Let's talk about the controls. Whether you're using the Joy-Con motion controls or even the new mouse mode, it's clear that Nintendo has put a lot of thought into making sure everything feels seamless, and that after you're done playing this, you get it. You understand the Switch 2. The mini games vary from simple, relaxing puzzles to fast-paced action games, so there's something here for everyone. I was playing this game where you gotta move the mouse around and you have to avoid the mines, and it was just so much fun. You control a UFO, and you have to use the mouse and be super precise to avoid these mines that are falling from the top of the screen. And I swear to you, it sounds so simple in concept, right? But when you play it, it's so much fun. One standout feature for me was the HD Rumble mini game. You've probably heard about the HD Rumble tech from Switch 1, but the HD Rumble 2 really shows off what it can do. It's not just a gimmick, you can feel the difference, and it really adds a layer of immersion that you don't get with regular vibration. Now, is it worth the price? Here's the thing, while you could debate all day about whether it should have been free or not, the reality is it's a lot of fun. I'd say it's worth the $5 to $10 price tag, especially if you're a Nintendo fan who wants to get a hands-on feel for the Switch 2's capabilities and you enjoy the quirkiness of Nintendo and you want to see Easter eggs. This is totally worth that price. Visually, Switch 2's Welcome Tour doesn't aim to be the most graphically intense game on the market, and that's okay because that's what they're aiming for. The art style is charming, and it has that signature Nintendo look. It gave me those early Sims games vibes. It's colorful, playful, and whimsical. It's not about cutting-edge graphics. It's about having fun, and that's something Nintendo does better than anyone. What's cool about the graphics is that they're not just there for decoration. The environments resemble parts of the Nintendo Switch 2 itself. So you get to roam around a giant Switch, exploring exhibits that mimic real-world features. It's interactive, and the art style really brings that to life. You feel like you're exploring a whole new world inside your console. Now let's talk about sound, and as always, when you're at an event like this that's like an E3, it's tough to hear, but from what I could hear, the music is exactly what you'd expect from a Nintendo game. Catchy, upbeat, lighthearted. It complements the quirky, fun atmosphere of the game perfectly. As for sound effects, they're great, with satisfying clicks and beeps as you interact with different elements of the Switch 2 exhibit and funny sound effects. It's not groundbreaking in terms of sound design, but everything works together to create an engaging experience that pulls you into the world, and I know that's what Nintendo's aiming for. There's one particular sound effect when you unlock a medal or complete a mini game, and it's definitely satisfying. It's those little details that really elevate the experience. The story, or more accurately, the concept, is what really makes this game stand out. It's not trying to be some deep, narrative-driven experience. Instead, it's an interactive tour through the features of the Switch 2, told in that quirky, fun Nintendo style. The way it presents the different aspects of the Switch 2 system is playful and engaging, with just the right amount of humor and oddity to keep things interesting. And I will say, like, the mini games, they have different medals you can get, like bronze and silver, gold. I didn't get the gold medals while I was there. Like, I would have to practice at this, so they're not easy, but it's fun, and you feel like you're competing for a high score in an arcade game. It was just a good time. What I appreciate most is that Nintendo didn't try to tone down their quirky side for the Switch 2. It's still very much in line with what we've seen from the company in the past. Bright, weird, and full of charm. If you're a longtime Nintendo fan, again, you'll appreciate the little nods and Easter eggs throughout the game that celebrate the company's rich history. So, what really stood out to me? First, the mini games are ridiculously fun. They're easy to get into, but some are pretty challenging once you start aiming for those medals, as I mentioned. I could have spent hours exploring everything and unlocking more medals, which again, that's why I'm like, this is totally worth $10. Each mini game uses the new features of the Switch 2 in such creative ways that I found myself constantly excited to see what came next, and I wish I could have continued exploring. But there's so many other games to play at the event. I also love that there's a sense of discovery throughout the game. You're not just playing through the features, you're uncovering hidden facts about the system, and you have to explore in the world to find them. There's secret areas and completing challenges that reward you with new insight into the console's tech. It's both educational and fun. As for concerns, honestly, I don't have many. The only thing I would say is that some people might question whether the price is justified, but after playing it, I personally think it's a fair value considering how much content is packed in there. There's a lot to explore, and for a Nintendo fan, it's a must play. In conclusion, I really enjoyed my time with Switch 2 Welcome Tour. It's an experience that's fun, informative, and full of surprises. Whether you're just curious about the new features of the Switch 2, or you're a die-hard Nintendo fan looking for hidden Easter eggs, there's something here for you. And yes, I absolutely think it's worth the $10 price tag. I would have loved to have spent more time exploring, but honestly, the mini games were too addictive. So you guys can expect a full review once the game comes out, because I will definitely be picking it up. I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think about the Switch 2 Tour? And I know there's the comparisons between, hey, PS5 came with Astro Bot, and you know what? I'll tell you guys, I'm sure you guys know this, but I love Astro Bot. I played it on my PS5. I got PS5 day one. I platinumed the game. I absolutely love that game, and I think it's great that Sony gave us Astro Bot as a pack-in title, right? We can compare it all day, but comparing it's not going to change the fact, right? It is what it is. It's a $10 game. You don't have to buy it, but I can say that after playing it, I walked away understanding what this was, knowing that I am 100% going to buy it, and I will tell other people to buy it because I had that much fun with it. Also, don't miss out on my other hands-on impressions from the Nintendo Switch 2 experience. I've covered everything from winning the Mario Kart World Knockout Tournament, Metroid Prime 4, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Hades 2, Cyberpunk 2077, Dragon Drive. We saw Kirby there. We saw Mario Kart, Street Fighter, Split Fiction, Yakuza 0, Civ 7. Dude, there was so much there. It was so much fun. So check out the other videos if you're fiending for Switch 2 content. This is it right here. If you're fiending for the Switch 2 content, I've got you covered. So as always, thanks for watching. Please like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that notification bell, and remember, never too old to play video games.